I was looking around and came across VMware. So type in
Uh-huh.
VMW here for me.
BMW.
Now, VMW is got a very, very, very beautiful technical pattern. I know this was going to make you smile. I know this was just going to make your day. Textbook almost, right? Can just grab that because now we're looking for, and this is for directional play. So forget my cash flow hat. This is just more, directional conversation because,
Yeah, you're looking to pay some bills. Yeah. Okay.
I can't do it with Delta. Now I gotta find something
Mama
else.
needs money. Let's go.
Mama needs to make $150 specifically.
Mama needs it. Mama's looking for some revenge here today. I know what she needs.
So here's
Mhm.
VMware. I look at it. Obviously, the first things is we always go to the chart and we look at it and figure out, okay, where's my entry going to be? Where's my stop was going to be? All that good stuff. Target, you're like, all right, I love everything about it. It's beautiful. I love the momentum when it bounces off that 9, big green candles, pull back. We're setting up for another one. And then I go to my trade tab. And I'm looking and I'm like, oh, no weekly options. But even if I don't have weekly options, that's okay. It's going to be a directional play. My brain automatically goes to options. So I'm looking at that August play going, okay, can I do something there? So open up that for me. And then I look at the bid and ask spread and I'm like, oh, come on. Right now, I
Yeah.
know we can still find some ways to do it
Yeah.
with
Good
it, but
luck.
when I look at that, I'm just like, all right, volume's not there. You had everything, on the chart looking very well for me. Then I come here and I'm just like, why? Like you kill the vibe. Now we could always still play the stock directionally and trade the stock, but we're options traders. We love options. We like to, leverage and limit risk and all that good stuff. So for me, when I look at this, I'm like, all right, probably not going to be my first choice, which then reverts me back to the Microsoft conversation because Microsoft is back in the same space. So now give me your chart on Microsoft. Now, not exactly the same technical pattern there as VMW, but Microsoft obviously is in the same space. And we can go look at, very different other software
Yeah.
companies that are in this space, but I just figured Microsoft because everybody knows Microsoft. So when you're looking at, stocks and you're going through this daily routine where you're looking for a new trade entry, blah, 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 and you're in that space, when you have something like a VMW where you got nice technicals, but then, you've got your good old, your go-to, stocks like Microsoft, how do you make that decision? And for me, my decision's already made. So this is for somebody that's new watching this, that maybe not even be aware to look for,
Oh, your
yeah,
decision's made. Challenge accepted. I need to try to change your decision now. I don't even know what your decision is. I'm going to change it though.
let's see if you will. But
Mhm.
for somebody that, is brand new and might not even know to be on the lookout for things like volume and, bid and ask spread, walk them through that process and how you
Well,
go about eliminating and or sticking with your decision.
first of all, liquidity is important in everything we do, right? I mean, in stock trading, you need shares to be able to trade, but it's not just you need 2, 3, 4, 500 shares that you trade. You need to make sure that you can get in and out in lightning quick speed, right?
Yep.
You want to hit that order, boom, done, right? You want to sell that, boom, done. Same thing happens in any asset class. You want to get out of a trade, you want to get out of the trade. You want to get into a trade, you want to get into a trade. Liquidity is the real conversation here. And when you're looking at liquidity specifically in the options market, there's a couple telltale signs that are like, okay, that's a telltale sign that you might want to stay away. Number one, any stock that doesn't have weeklies in 2023, there's like
What's wrong with you?
let's get there, right? And it doesn't mean you can't do them. I think I have one stock on the Tackle 25 this year that doesn't have weeklies. You can still
Mhm.
do them, but you need to
Yep.
ensure that there's the liquidity necessary. Number one,
Yeah.
when you're looking at weeklies, again, it's just a sign that you got more demand on this stock that's actively traded by the traders out there. So that's number one. You definitely want stocks that typically have weeklies on them. Number two, another telltale sign in just being able to get in and out are the differences in the deltas on your strike prices. When you have tight deltas on your strike prices, you got tight strike prices, you got tight liquidity, everything's good. You see it 49, 43, 37, 32, 27, a lot of choices there. A lot of choices there, a lot of choices for a reason. You got a lot of demand. A lot of demand equals more choices. And so you got the tight ranges on the deltas, but more than anything, you're looking at the difference between the bid and the ask spread here. And when you got a tight bid ask spread, again, you can get in and out whenever you want. When you're looking at it from a pure volume open interest perspective, you obviously want to see volume above, like volume, as long as volume's above like 1, you're good. Open interest, typically, if you have over 100 contracts traded on open interest, you're typically good there as well. And so when you're coming to VMware, BMW here, you look at that August contract, and there's just not a lot of trading activity here.
Yep.
And so just because something's listed doesn't mean you want to do that. And again, that's kind of where VMware is here. It's like, all right, you can buy an option here, but if you buy an option, first and foremost, you're going to have to pay the market maker a ton just to get into the trade. Number two, good luck getting out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you can get in, good luck getting out. And so you got to be a little bit cautious there. And so the volume liquidity conversation here would cancel an option trade for VMware over a plethora of other stocks in this space that do not have these issues in any capacity. You talked about Microsoft being obviously one of them, but that is one of the reasons why we always come to companies like Microsoft, because any trader can do whatever they want. They can apply any system on a company like Microsoft. You want to do tackle 25 covered calls? Fantastic, Microsoft. You can't do it on VMware. You want to do iron condors with cash flow condors? You can do that on Microsoft. You cannot do that on VMware. You want to learn bear market survival guide and be able to buy put options to protect a long-term investment? Well, that's great. You can do that at any point on Microsoft, at any price on Microsoft, at any level, on any date on Microsoft. You can't do that on VMware. And so the liquidity conversation is one that's very important, because it goes to stock selection. It goes to what you're even putting on your watch list. And so if you're a option trader, VMware would never, it wouldn't sniff your strategies there.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you and that's just in a comparison to itself. When you put it into the comparison against Microsoft, I kind of feel like I've wasted everybody's time over the last 5 minutes when I just said should have just said trade Microsoft, right? And so obviously liquidity is extremely important in all option strategies, and the companies you select for your watch list for the options trade for a specific option watch list, you need to ensure that you have liquidity on both open interest, volume, tight bid-ask spreads, tight delta difference, offers weekly options. All of those things are real telltale signs that help you understand that this is a stock that you have confidence to get in and out with any system that you personally trade. And so that's why companies like, for example, AMD, that's one of the reasons AMD, for example, not a software company, we're talking semiconductor here, but the concept still rings true. Companies like AMD are on so many different traders' watch lists. Like, I think I have AMD on like 4 different watch lists for 4 different systems. Almost every trader that I know in some capacity has experience with AMD, let alone be one of their stocks they trade over and over and over again. Is it because AMD is so technically amazing? No, it can be technically amazing, but that's not the reason. Is it because it's a fundamental darling? No, it's not because it's a fundamental darling. Is it because their product is just light years better than any product in the space? No, a lot of semiconductors have great product out there. So why? It's because it fits any system out there, because it has massive liquidity. You talk about another darling, FCX, and you might think, well, Matt, why are you talking FCX? Like, I get AMD, I get Microsoft, yeah, but why FCX? Well, FCX is popular as a tradable asset, not because we just love FCX and we just love copper, and we love copper so much, and we love it more than any other precious metal, that has nothing to do with it. It's the fact that when you come to FCX, any option system that you trade, from cash flow to volatility to directional to scalping, you name it, you can do whatever you want because the at the money strike price has damn near 20,000 contracts traded on it. And you don't see that in other companies. And so when you're looking at this liquidity conversation, it's a very, very important conversation, obviously, but there's certain stocks out there that you just, regardless of the system, regardless of the technique, regardless of the strategy, you know you can do whatever what you do in your system on. And so they're just going to be a little bit more popular. Now, specifically to the question of Microsoft, though, I would be a little cautious here on Microsoft from the revenge trade scenario here. And by the way, just a little bit of a disclaimer, if you're trying to get revenge on a company, don't select a different company. Just wait for just be patient, be that ninja, be patient, wait for your revenge. You'll get it. Like have a long tail here, long tail. Like, yeah, you gotta keep that going there. You don't want to get revenge on Delta using a software company out of the technology space. And so that's just a little bit of advice from your mentor there, Em.
Okay, fine.
But pure technically here. Yesterday gave me a little bit of concern in the mega cap areas of the market, Microsoft specifically, because you violated the 20. And so with confirmation here today, if we do get it out of the NASDAQ, and again, the close is different than the open, we got to see it, we got to navigate that. That doesn't confirm here. And so even with the NASDAQ confirming, you're still not doing that because of the violation of the 20 yesterday on Microsoft. And so I'd be a little bit cautious here from a new directional trade, unless we King's bet it up to 340 again. If we King's bet it at 340, that's pure. That looks really good. So a little bit of recovery, a little bit of consolidation. And if we can dance that 340 dance, that's the number we're here for, 340. Underneath 340, we'll let the kids play. We're thinking 340 or above here. So if you want to recover, get back into 340, that's perfectly fine. I will talk a little bit about another company in the software space, though. TD here, the trade desk here. The trade desk, not the same type of company as obviously VMware and Microsoft, but we're talking space, right? Software in general here. And software is a big space. It's a really big space in the technology areas. I think you would go semis, then software is kind of the priority there. I really like this above 78 here. You got a good cup and handle on the daily. That's a really good continuation pattern. You're looking at the weekly chart. Look at that high base on the weekly chart, real clean against resistance here. And so you say a close above resistance, you're giddy up and going on a multiple time frame scenario. Yeah, good luck getting me to pronounce some prescription drug there. But I'm sorry. So I prefer TTD over Microsoft right now, and I do prefer it over VMware, obviously. I'm also looking at PanW here. PanW has been a juggernaut this year so far. You got a little bit of a flag, a little bit of a high base, and you're breaking out of PanW here as well. And so and again, look, it's just been so good all year long, so good. And so you get a high base with confirmation on a company in a space that is a darling right now to the market. Kind of like that a little bit more. And you come over to the options market here, you see your weeklies, you come out to that August contract, you got plenty of liquidity, you're tight on the bid-ask spread. You look at TTD here, you got your weeklies here, you come out to that August contract, you don't have the liquidity that say a Microsoft has or a PanW has, but you can do whatever you need here. And so you got plenty of liquidity here as well. And so if you really, really, really just like that VMware, that BMW, I'll get that one, BMW. I like the position here. I don't want to discount the position here. It's a good little retracement coming into a pretty decent zone. You are dealing with slowing momentum and trend and a choppy retracement, which are two signs technically that I don't love. If you're going to slow momentum, you better be damn clean, Em. If you're going to increase your momentum, you can be a little bit choppy. But if you're going to slow your momentum, it better be clean. And I just don't see that here. And so I would favor more of the momentum condition of a PanW. I would favor the continuation pattern of a TD, or I would favor a recovery in Microsoft against 340 over forcing any option trade here on VMware. If you're pure stock here, that's a different conversation. You got plenty of liquidity from a stock perspective. But I know my girl, and I know she's looking at options here. I would look at TTD. I would look at PanW or a recovering on Microsoft up to 340. The best revenge is not forced. It's patiently waiting on the right setup. That's above 340 on Microsoft or confirmation on the other two.
Can't you just be my friend and not be my mentor sometimes?
I am your friend. That's why I'm your mentor. I'm your friend and mentor. See, real friends give real advice there, Em.